Some of the most dangerous and terrifying creatures in the universe exist within an already mysterious and frightening environment, one that is highly advantageous to those who have evolved to thrive in it, and crippling to those who are foreign to it. Oceans are often vast and deep and are usually teeming with life all across the cosmos, although some of that life can often be quite monstrous in nature. Hello to all who are listening, and welcome to the facility. We discuss all manners of creatures and monsters from all corners of fiction. Today we bring to you another list from the depths of the facility archives, this time on the top 5 best sea creatures from around the universe. Although we do not consider these to be the definitive best 5, we do consider them to be amongst the most deadly and terrifying organisms to ever roam the oceans. In this list we will go based on size and ferocity of the monster, as well as how it fares, so without further ado, here are the top 5 best sea creatures from the facility archives. Megalodons, meaning big tooth, is an extinct species of shark that lived approximately 23 to 3.6 million years ago on Earth. Although in some universes, these creatures have been witnessed to cause havoc and destruction for humans attempting to conquer the seas, as they are unfortunate enough to share a world with these undeniable engines of power and ferocity. This massive creature floats around at a length of 82 feet and a body mass of 170 tons. With an unbelievably strong and destructive bite, they can tear through anything that gets in their way, whether that be prey or any other object that would be considered a threat to their dominion. As we saw with the one found in a deeper section of the Marianas Trench, concealed by a thermocline of hydrogen sulfide. The creature, along with a pocket of flora and fauna from a different age of the planet's history, were found tucked away under the thermocline shell by human oceanographers. This massive monster of the past revealed its mighty and destructive power and dominance of the Earth's oceans, and gave the humans a peek of what their world was like when these ancient killers roamed the waters. Its might pales in comparison to the creatures in the rest of the list. A Leviathan in this universe does not refer to a single organism. It is more of a classification of organisms. The ones we will be referring to are the ones found inhabiting planet 4546b. The Leviathans in this planet come in all shapes and sizes, from the 20-meter sea trader, which is the smallest of them, to the sea emperor Leviathan, around 200 meters. These creatures are also not all massive carnivorous predators. Some of them, like the reeferback Leviathan, can be passive giants, carrying small ecosystems in their back. Many of them also possess bioluminescent features. A good example is the ghost Leviathan, that even has bioluminescent eyes. Many of these creatures could also emit loud, echoing roars, audible from great distances as a form of echolocation or prey intimidation. They can also prey on smaller members of their own class, like how the Reaper Leviathans were preyed upon once by the Sea Dragon Leviathans in the inactive lava zone. Like mentioned before, the Sea Emperor Leviathan is suggested to be the largest identified species in the Subnautica universe, at around 160 to 200 meters in length. Despite this, it is massively outsized by the gargantuan fossil, which would measure well in excess of 1 kilometer at completion. Due to the massive size disparity between the largest confirmed Leviathan and the gargantuan, as well as the lack of any mention in a databank entry, it is unknown whether or not the gargantuan will be even given the classification of Leviathan, or perhaps a new classification for a creature of such extreme size that it exceeds the size of a Leviathan. Karathan is an underwater mythical sea creature that is the most powerful creature on Earth in this universe. She was the guard at 2 miles in length. The Karathan is able to telepathically communicate with certain Atlanteans, such as Atlan and Arthur. An old, somber, and solemn soul, the Karathan spent many years in the service of King Atlan during his reign, and even onto his nomadic exile following the sinking of Atlantis. Thus, the Karathan, despite her ferocity, is a loyalist with incredible amounts of integrity. Choosing to honor the last will and testament of her long-deceased confidant, she guards the trident of Atlan in the hidden sea. Karathan is unbelievably durable, exponentially more than any highborn Atlantean. She shrugged off huge barrages of Atlantean firepower, withstood mighty attacks from both Atlanta and Aquaman, and even came into contact with molten lava, all with little to no stress and no apparent harm to herself. Karathan predated the sinking of Atlantis, and has guarded the Trident of Atlan for millennia in the Hidden Sea, seemingly without aging or weakening. Despite her monstrous appearance, she is intelligent and wise due to her tremendous lifespan, with her being able to hold telepathic conversations with first Atlan and later Aquaman. Karathin appears to possess a form of clairvoyance, as she was able to tell that Aquaman is only half Atlantean, merely by The Kaijus are a race of amphibious creatures genetically engineered by the Precursors, a sentient race from the Antiverse. In 2013, the Precursors opened a portal between dimensions at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, allowing the Kaiju to enter Earth's dimension. As biological weapons of warfare, the Kaijus are extremely hostile and toxic creatures designed with the intention to wipe out all humankind. During the Triassic period, the Precursors attempted to colonize Earth, but the environment proved to be uninhabitable for them and prevented them from surviving on the planet. They therefore bid their time until Earth's environment was ready for the Precursor colonization. The progressive pollution of Earth's environment by mankind made it possible for the Precursors to survive on the planet and colonize it. In response, they create a race of amphibious creatures, biological weapons, later known as Kaijus. Shortly thereafter, the Precursors create a portal that bridges their universe to Earth on the floor of the Marianas Trench. Each Kaiju is classified into 5 different categories. Categories 1 and 2 represent the weakest of the Kaijus, while categories 3 through 5 are the strongest. Upon decomposing, their bodies release a noxious agent into the air known as Kaiju Blue, their blood. Kaiju Blue has the ability to contaminate the air and its immediate environment, rendering it essentially uninhabitable. Kaiju are colossal in size, averaging hundreds of feet in height and thousands of tons in weight. Because of their tremendous body mass, 2 brains are needed to control the Kaiju's motor and cognitive functions. Kaiju are also symbiotic, as they possess large parasitic organisms that are attached to their bodies. Once created, Kaiju are pitted against each other. This process initially singled out the most ruthless in the forms of melee combat to be chosen. The surviving creations are then used as biological weapons in order to rid a chosen planet of its life forms, so that they can colonize it. Kaijus are highly aggressive creatures, especially when engaged in combat. However, they are not clumsy, nor do they possess limited intelligence. Working through a hive mind system, the Kaiju can communicate instantly, meaning that they are highly effective as a group, as well as alone. Not many species will have been able to endure a Kaiju invasion by these planet-wiping species known as the Precursors. But in this universe, humanity came up with a way to fight back, a way to win, in the form of their Jaegers. Our number 1 choice though, well, he exists in a different universe, one that also possessed these terrible titans known as Kaijus. But in this world, our number 1 choice rules among them. But before we get into that, here are some honorable mentions of creatures that didn't make it into this list, but are also worth the mention. The universe, one thing remains as a constant: Godzilla is the most powerful of all the Kaijus. Even when face to face with a whole slew of other deadly, high-powered, world-ending titans, this one always comes out victorious. Godzilla is depicted as an enormous, destructive prehistoric sea monster, awakened and empowered by nuclear radiation. Its signature weapon is its atomic breath, also known as atomic heat beam. The beast also possesses immense physical strength, muscularity, and vitality. It is immune to conventional weaponry thanks to its rugged hide and ability to regenerate. As a result of surviving a nuclear explosion, it cannot be damaged by anything less powerful. His motivations have changed from universe to universe. Although Godzilla does not like humans, it will fight alongside humanity against a common threat. However, it makes no special effort to protect human life or property, and will turn against its human allies on a whim. Godzilla feeds on nuclear radiation and can sustain itself for millions of years at a time by absorbing geothermal radiation from the Earth's core. He is capable of healing from his wounds by absorbing large amounts of radiation. However, the rate at which he heals depends on how serious his injuries are. His top swimming speed can reach up to 40 knots, enough to slam into other kaijus and launch them into the air. Godzilla fearlessly. For all these reasons and more, we decided to give Godzilla our #1 spot as the best creature to come from the ocean. If any other kaiju or creature would disagree, they can take it up with the king himself. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this list, then leave a like and a comment below. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so you don't miss out on our monster lists and breakdowns in the future. Thank you for tuning in to the broadcast once again. This is The Facility, signing out.